Let us start salt analysis. In the salt analysis, nickel test we will do it. Now we will take a nickel salt solution. We will take Ni2 plus aqueous solution. We will take this Ni2 plus. To this Ni2 plus aqueous solution, let us add sodium hydroxide solution. Let us add sodium hydroxide solution. Then we will add bromine water. Then we are adding bromine water. We will add bromine water contains bromine and water. Bromine water we are adding. Then we are boiling the contents. We are boiling the contents. Sorry, what will happen that we will see. Here we have taken Ni2 plus aqueous. This Ni2 plus aqueous is green color. Ni2 plus aqueous is green color. This with OH minus from sodium hydroxide. So this nickel and OH minus becomes nickel hydroxide NiOH twice, NiOH twice. It is a precipitate. This precipitate is a green precipitate. Now see, this Ni2 plus is green solution. It takes anion OH minus from sodium hydroxide and becomes NiOH twice green precipitate. NiOH twice green precipitate. Now what is added? Bromine water is added. So bromine water will function like what? Bromine water, this bromine combines with water to give HBr, hydrobromic acid, and hydrobromous acid. Hydrobromous acid. This hydrobromous acid is unstable, so it decomposes to give hydrogen bromide plus nascent oxygen. Nascent oxygen. Sir, this nascent oxygen, this is called nascent oxygen. Nascent oxygen means that is produced during the reaction, immediately involves in chemical reaction. This nascent oxygen reacting with this NiOH twice. This nascent oxygen reacting with this NiOH twice. Now NiOH twice becomes NiOH thrice. NiOH thrice. This NiOH thrice is called nickelic hydroxide. It is called nickelic hydroxide. This nickelic hydroxide is a black precipitate. This nickelic hydroxide is black precipitate. Sir, in this one, what is taking place? Here nickel oxidation number is +3. Here nickel oxidation number is +2. So +2 nickel converting into +3 nickel. So +2 nickel undergoes oxidation while this oxygen undergoes reduction. This oxygen undergoes reduction. So Ni+2 becomes Ni+3. Here NiOH thrice is called nickelic hydroxide. It is black precipitate, whereas NiOH twice is called a green precipitate. It is the test for a Ni2 plus. Ni2 plus test is so and so. Sir, next we will go for a manganese test. We will take Mn2 plus aqueous. We will take Mn2 plus aqueous. This Mn2 plus aqueous, to this we will add sodium hydroxide solution. To this we will add sodium hydroxide solution. We will add sodium hydroxide solution. We will add. We will shake the contents. We will shake the contents. We are getting white precipitate. We are shaking the contents. We are getting white precipitate. Then to this white precipitate, let us add bromine water. Let us add bromine water to this white precipitate. We are getting black color. Black color precipitate we are getting. Otherwise, brown color precipitate we will get it. Black or brown precipitate will be obtained. So here we are taking Mn2 plus aqueous. It is buff colored. And the MnS is buff colored. Mn2 plus aqueous is light pink. So this Mn2 plus aqueous is light pink. Light pink. Sodium hydroxide is colorless. Sodium hydroxide is colorless. We are getting white precipitate. What is the formula of white precipitate? What is the formula of white precipitate? You think it? Then bromine water. Bromine is reddish brown. Therefore, it is a reddish brown solution. Bromine water is a reddish brown solution. We are getting black or brown precipitate. We are getting black or brown precipitate. We are getting. Sir. Now we will see this Mn2 plus we will take. This Mn2 plus takes anion from sodium hydroxide. So it takes OH minus from sodium hydroxide and gives this cross multiply. You will get the formula. You will get MnOH twice. This is white precipitate. This MnOH twice is white precipitate. MnOH twice is white precipitate. Sir, this MnOH twice is white precipitate. This white precipitate reacts with a nascent oxygen. Nascent oxygen comes from this bromine water. Bromine water provides a nascent oxygen. So this white precipitate with a nascent oxygen, we are getting a MnOOH. Then it is converting into MnOOH twice, like this possible. This MnOOH twice is called a brown precipitate or a black precipitate. Brown precipitate or black precipitate we can say. Sorry. What are the oxidation numbers? What are the oxidation numbers? We'll see. Here manganese is having +4. Here manganese is having +3. Here manganese has +2. So manganese +2 converting into +3, further converting into +4. So manganese undergoes oxidation from +2 to +3, then to +4. Oxygen undergoes a reduction. Oxygen undergoes a reduction. It is a test for a Mn2 plus. Then another test is to this white precipitate, we will add corn nitric acid. To that white precipitate, corn nitric acid is added. Then corn nitric acid is added. Then PbO2 is added. PbO2 otherwise NaBiO3. NiBiO3. Otherwise red lead. Red lead is called Pb3O4. It is called red lead. Red lead. It is called Pb3O4. This red lead is called mixed oxide. It is called mixed oxide. Why it is called mixed oxide? Because it is having PbO and PbO2. This Pb3O4 is having PbO and PbO2. In PbO, Pb is +2. In PbO2, Pb is +4. In PbO, Pb is +2. In PbO2, Pb is +4. So plumbous oxide and plumbic oxide both mixed together is called a mixed oxide. This is red lead, this mixed oxide. Sir. Now what happens? Okay. Now after adding this, the contents are boiled. The contents are boiled. Then the contents are cooled. Then the contents are cooled. And the contents are left for a certain time. What happens means this white colored precipitate. This white colored precipitate becomes a pink colored solution. Pink colored solution. Pink colored solution. It becomes pink colored solution. So what is the reaction? Pink colored solution. So what is the reaction in this one? This pink color or purple color or violet color we will get. So what is the reaction here? What is the reaction here? In this case, what reaction takes place? Now, this Mn plus 2. Here Mn plus 2 is there. This is MnOH twice white precipitate. MnOH twice white precipitate. To this white precipitate, we are adding corn nitric acid. Then we are adding PbO2 or NaBiO3, sodium bismuthate. Then Pb3O4, it is red lead. Red lead is mixed oxide. This Pb3O4 contains PbO and PbO2. Here Pb is 3 times present, but here one time means 2. So in order to make 3, we will make this PbO as 2 times. PbO 2 times we will take, PbO2 1 time we will take. So here Pb is 2, here also Pb is 1. So totally Pb is 3. Oxygen here 2, here also 2, totally 4. So we got Pb3O4. So Pb3O4 is called red lead. It is also called mixed oxide. It is coming under mixed oxide. That means it is having two simple oxides. One is plumbous oxide, another one is plumbic oxide. Now after adding this one, we will boil the contents and cooling. After that, leaving for sufficient time, we are getting a solution is pink colored or violet colored or purple colored we will get. So what is the reaction? What is the reaction taking place? What is the reaction taking place? We'll see. What is the reaction taking place? We'll see. Now in this case, Mn2 plus undergoes oxidation and gives MnO4 minus. This MnO4 minus is having color purple, otherwise violet, otherwise pink color. Sorry. Now what is the oxidation numbers? That we'll see. What is the oxidation numbers? How the oxidation number will be there? Here manganese oxidation number is +7. So +2 oxidation number is converting into +7 means it is undergoing oxidation. So what should undergo reduction? Which should undergo reduction? That means we added reagent PbO2. That PbO2 is converting into PbO. PbO2 is converting into PbO. That is a reduction. Sorry. In this reduction, what is the change in oxidation number? Here Pb is +4. Here Pb is +2. If you add PbO2, PbO2 undergoes reduction and becomes PbO. Sorry. Whereas manganese is undergoing oxidation. Another reagent we added, NaBiO3. This NaBiO3 is becoming Bi3 plus solution. Sorry. Here Bi3 plus solution means what is the oxidation number of this bismuth? Bismuth is +5. Then we added what means Pb3O4. This Pb3O4 contains PbO and PbO2. Before adding Pb3O4, we added corn nitric acid. The corn nitric acid oxidizes this PbO into PbO2. So red lead is remaining as PbO2. This PbO2 is becoming PbO. That means undergoes reduction. Here reduction is possible due to this manganese. Manganese undergoes oxidation. Lead is undergoing a reduction. Lead is undergoing reduction. These are the reactions possible. So what are the reactions possible in this case? We will see. Here you are taking this white precipitate. This white precipitate formula is MnOH twice. You are adding corn nitric acid. This corn nitric acid convert this red lead. This Pb3O4 contains PbO. Corn nitric acid oxidizes this PbO. Therefore, this PbO becomes PbO2. Okay. You are boiling the contents and cooling the contents and leaving the solution for sufficient time. What is resultant? Resultant contains what means permanganate. In the resultant, what is there? Permanganate is there. Permanganate color, instead of saying pink, we can better say violet. Violet you say, otherwise purple. Violet or purple we can say. So when Mn+2 is converting into permanganate, this Pb+4 is converting into Pb+2. This bismuth +5 is converting into bismuth +3. Here this Pb+4 is converting into Pb+2. It is the test for Mn2+. Sir, while doing this Mn2+ test, why don't we take that this to this aqueous solution we are adding sodium hydroxide and we are getting MnOH twice precipitate. This to the precipitate we are continuing like this. Why don't we continue from here? Why don't we continue from here? Why do we continue from here? Why do we continue from here? That means to this we are adding corn nitric acid and we are proceeding. Why don't we add corn nitric acid and proceed, and why can't we get this permanganate purple? Sir, why we have not done like this? That we will see. Okay. This Mn plus 2 test we will see. We are getting Mn in group 4 as Mn is buff colored precipitate. To this we added what means a dilute HCl. Dilute HCl we added. So MnS becomes a MnCl2 solution. MnCl2 solution and H2S gas leaves. H2S gas leaves. Now if this MnCl2, so Mn is precipitate, it is buff colored precipitate. To this you are adding dilute HCl. So Mn2 plus becomes MnCl2, it goes to solution. Sulfide becomes H2S gas. Sir. So here what is anion present? Cl minus is the anion present. Cl minus anion present. If you proceed like this test, what will happen? This Mn plus 2 is converting into permanganate, while which undergoes oxidation. Which undergoes oxidation means Cl minus is undergoing oxidation to give Cl2. Instead of this lead, bismuth and this red lead, instead of this undergoing reduction, this Cl minus is undergoing this Cl minus. Okay. Instead of this here, this is only undergoing reduction. No, this undergoing reduction. Here what is happening? Mn plus 2 is undergoing oxidation and giving like this. Simultaneously, Cl minus also converting into Cl2. So Cl minus is undergoing oxidation. Mn plus 2 undergoing oxidation to give permanganate. So here what is the reaction? Cl minus oxidizes to give Cl2. Mn2 plus oxidizes to give permanganate. While this lead or this bismuth or this lead undergoes reduction. Okay, this is undergoing reduction. Which undergoes oxidation means Mn2 plus oxidizes means permanganate. Cl minus oxidizes means Cl2. So regarding reduction, this reagent undergoes reduction. Regarding oxidation, two possibilities. One is Cl minus, another one is Mn2 plus. Out of these two, Cl minus oxidation takes place preferentially when compared to Mn2 plus. Cl minus oxidation is preferable when compared to Mn2 plus. So Mn2 plus is not converting into permanganate. So we are not getting violet or purple colored. This Cl2 color is greenish yellow. Cl2 color is greenish yellow. So now what we want to do it? We want to avoid which step? Which step do we want to avoid? We want to avoid this step. We want to make Mn2 plus to convert into permanganate. So how to avoid this? We want to avoid this. We want to allow this for oxidation. So we are adding hydroxide. We are precipitating Mn2 plus like this. Now Mn2 plus present in the form of hydroxide, not like chloride. So here chloride is not there. Here chloride Cl minus is not there. You are proceeding like this. Which can undergo oxidation? Mn only can undergo oxidation. So Mn plus 2 oxidizing to give permanganate, whereas Cl minus not. Why? Because this Cl minus is not present in this precipitate. Therefore, Cl minus not present. Therefore, this step we need not consider here. Only Mn plus 2 can undergo oxidation, that is converting into permanganate. Permanganate. Okay. It is the test for Mn2 plus. It is a test for Mn2 plus. Okay. Next we will see analysis about Zn2 plus. Zn2 plus test we will see. Okay. Now we are going for a Zn2 plus test. We are going for Zn2 plus test. We will take a Zn2 plus solution. We will take a Zn2 plus aqueous solution. We will take this Zn2 plus aqueous solution is colorless. This solution we will divide into two parts. To the one part, we will add sodium hydroxide solution. We will add sodium hydroxide solution. Zn2 plus takes hydroxide and becomes ZnOH twice. ZnOH twice. This is it is white precipitate. ZnOH twice is white precipitate. ZnOH twice is white precipitate. To this white precipitate, we will add excess sodium hydroxide. Excess sodium hydroxide. This white precipitate dissolves due to formation of oxysalt. White precipitate dissolves. Now white precipitate dissolves. White precipitate dissolves. Why white precipitate dissolves? Due to formation of oxysalt. What is the oxysalt formed? Here oxysalt is formed. The oxysalt is Na2ZnO2, sodium zincate. In this, zinc is in anionic part, that is ZnO2 2 minus solution. Like this solution you will get it. So you are taking aqueous solution of zinc. You are dividing this into two parts. First part you are taking, to that you are adding zinc sodium hydroxide solution. Zn2 plus becomes a zinc hydroxide white precipitate. On adding excess of sodium hydroxide, white precipitate dissolves due to formation of oxysalt, that is Na2ZnO2, sodium zincate. This sodium zincate we can write as a zincate anion and sodium cation. Zincate anion and sodium cation. So zinc is present in a anionic part. This zincate anion we can't split as zinc and oxygen separately. We should not split this as zinc and oxygen separate. We should not split. This will exist in the form of complex. That complex formula is ZnOH 4 times 2 minus. That is a complex formula. ZnOH 2 OH 4 times 2 minus. OH 4 times 2 minus we can say. 2 minus it is in aqueous solution. So zinc is giving white precipitate with the sodium hydroxide. Formula is ZnOH twice. White precipitate dissolves in excess of sodium hydroxide. This white precipitate dissolves in excess of sodium hydroxide. That soluble form is called sodium zincate. That soluble form is what means sodium zincate. Zinc is in anionic part. That formula is ZnO2 2 minus. This zincate anion, it is called a zincate anion. It is called a zincate anion. This zincate anion we can also write it as a ZnOH 4 times 2 minus in the form of complex. In the form of complex we can write it. Sorry, okay. Then we will take another part of this zinc solution. Another part of zinc solution will take. To this we are adding a potassium ferrocyanide. Ferrocyanide ion formula is FeCN 6 times 4 minus solution, 4 minus aqueous solution. It is called a ferrocyanide. It is called a ferrocyanide. Ferrocyanide solution we are adding. So what we will get? What we will get? Cross multiply this 2 and this 4, cross multiply and simplify. You cancel this by 2, this by 2. So this will become plus 1. This will become minus 2. Cross multiply. What you will get? You see, you will get Zn2 Fe Cn 6 times 4 minus here plus 4. So we got the formula. Zn2 FeCN 6 times we are getting. This complex is having what color means? This complex is having white precipitate. This complex is white precipitate. Otherwise bluish white precipitate. Otherwise bluish white precipitate. This complex Zn2 FeCN 6 times. This is white precipitate or bluish white precipitate. Sorry. Where and all we have used ferrocyanide. This ferrocyanide reagent. This ferrocyanide reagent where and all we have used. This ferrocyanide reagent where and all we have used. One for copper. One we have used for a copper test. Ferrocyanide reagent we have used for copper test. Cu2 plus with ferrocyanide. Cu2 plus with ferrocyanide. Cu2 plus with ferrocyanide. We got Cu2 FeCN 6 times 4 minus. We got like this. To Cu2 plus we used potassium ferrocyanide. We got like this red brown precipitate, chocolate colored precipitate. For cadmium analysis, we have used potassium ferrocyanide. We got Cd2 FeCN 6 times white precipitate. Then we used this ferrocyanide for Fe3 plus test. To the Fe3 plus we added ferrocyanide. We got Fe4 FeCN 6 times thrice. It is called Prussian blue precipitate. It is called Prussian blue precipitate. Prussian blue precipitate. Then we are adding to zinc. We are getting Zn2 FeCN 6 times. Zn2 FeCN 6 times precipitate we are getting. This is a white precipitate or a bluish white precipitate we are getting. We are getting white precipitate, otherwise bluish white precipitate we are getting. Okay. So this is in these places we have used potassium ferrocyanide. So potassium ferrocyanide reagent we have used for which cases? One is copper Cu2 plus test. Another one is cadmium Cd2 plus test. Next ferric Fe3 plus test and Zn2 plus test. Now you can see Cu plus 2 gives Cu2 FeCN6. Cd2 plus gives Cd2 FeCN6. Zn2 plus gives Zn2 FeCN6. So potassium ferrocyanide we have used for these cases. Okay. This is the test for a group 4 analysis. Next we will go for a group 5 analysis. Now we are seeing group 5 analysis. We will see in the group 5 analysis. For group 5 analysis, group 5 cations will take. Group 5 cations are what means? One is barium ion. Barium ion is precipitated in group 5 as carbonate. Next one is strontium, that is precipitating as strontium carbonate. Next one is calcium, that is precipitating as calcium carbonate. This precipitate is white. We are getting a white precipitate. All are white precipitate. Now we have to go for a group 5 analysis. To go for group 5 analysis, to this group 4 precipitate, we are adding hot dilute acetic acid solution. We are adding hot dilute acetic acid solution. What happens means, now because of this acidic medium, carbonate becomes carbon dioxide and goes away. This barium with this acetate becomes a barium acetate. Barium acetate formula BaCH3COO twice. It is in a solution form. Similarly, we can say strontium and calcium. So we will get a strontium acetate. We will get it is a strontium acetate. This is what means calcium acetate. This is what means calcium acetate. So group 5 precipitate is carbonate. Group 5 precipitate is carbonate. To this carbonate precipitate you are adding hot dilute acetic acid solution. They are converting into cations, converting into respective acetates. So you are getting barium acetate, strontium acetate, calcium acetate solution you are getting. So you got in the form of acetate. Now how to do this analysis? How to do this analysis we will see. How to do this analysis? How to do this analysis we will see. Now we will take this solution, resultant solution. This resultant solution will take. This resultant solution we will divide into 3 parts. Okay. To the first part we will add potassium chromate solution. We will add potassium chromate solution. Potassium chromate solution is a yellow color. Potassium chromate solution is yellow color. Now what is the result we will get? if this solution contains barium ion, then we will get barium chromate yellow precipitate. Okay, barium chromate yellow precipitate will get. If the solution contains strontium ion, here no precipitate. If this solution contains calcium ion, here no precipitate. So if this solution contains barium ion, then only we will get precipitate, that is yellow precipitate barium chromate. That means strontium and calcium do not respond for this test. Strontium and calcium do not respond for this test. Okay. Now we will take this solution. This solution second part we will take. Now we are taking second part of the solution. Second part of the solution. To the second part of the solution, we are adding ammonium sulfate. We are adding ammonium sulfate solution, and the contents are warmed. Now, if the solution contains barium ion, we will get barium sulfate white precipitate. If the solution contains strontium ion, we will get strontium sulfate white precipitate. Strontium sulfate white precipitate we are getting. We are getting white precipitate of strontium sulfate. If solution contains calcium ion, no precipitate is available. No precipitate is available. So we have to do this test first. If we get yellow precipitate, that indicates barium is present. If barium is present, if you confirm it, then you should not go for this second test, because barium as well as strontium both are giving same white precipitate. Therefore, first you have to do this test, you have to do it. If you get yellow precipitate, that indicates barium ion is present. So you stop this analysis. Suppose if you do not get yellow precipitate, then barium ion is not present, then only you have to proceed to this second test. Okay. If barium is absent, then only you have to go for this second test. Otherwise, no. Okay. So if first you do this first part. If you get yellow precipitate, don't proceed further. If you do not get yellow precipitate, then proceed to second and add ammonium sulfate solution, warm, then you will get a white precipitate strontium sulfate. Now then this solution third part we will take it. We'll take a third part of the solution. To the third part of the solution, we will add ammonium oxalate. We are adding ammonium oxalate. We are adding ammonium oxalate. We are adding ammonium oxalate. Then we are adding ammonium hydroxide solution. Ammonium hydroxide solution. Scratch the sides of the test tube. Scratch the sides of the test tube. Side of the test tube. How to scratch side of the test tube? Suppose test tube is like this. Take the glass rod. Then take the glass rod. You are taking the glass rod and you are scratching here. Like this you scratch. Scratch like this. Okay. Scratching means like this, scratch it. So you are scratching the test tube. Okay. You are scratching the test tube. Then what we will get, we will see. We will get what means white precipitate we will get. We will get white precipitate. We will get white precipitate. If this solution contains barium ion, we will get barium oxalate white precipitate. If solution contains strontium ion, we will get a strontium oxalate. If solution contains calcium ion, we will get a calcium oxalate white precipitate we will get. Sorry. So to the third part, you are adding ammonium oxalate, formula NH4 twice C2O4. Oxalate is C2O4 2- ion. Then you are adding ammonium hydroxide and you are scratching the test tube. On scratching the test tube, what possibility is there? White precipitate possibility is there. If solution contains barium ion, if solution contains barium ion, we will get if solution contains barium ion, you will get barium oxalate white precipitate. If solution contains strontium ion, we will get strontium oxalate white precipitate. If solution contains calcium ion, you will get calcium oxalate white precipitate. So how to proceed this test? So first you have to take this solution divided into 3 parts. First part you take and do this test. If you get yellow precipitate, this indicates this solution contains barium ion, then don't proceed to this second test and third test. Suppose yellow precipitate is not available, that means barium ion is absent, then proceed to this second test systematically. Then proceed to this second test to proceed. Don't go to third test. Go to this second test. Add ammonium sulfate and warm. If you get white precipitate, that indicates strontium ion is present. If you get white precipitate, this solution contains strontium ion, then don't go to this third test. If you get white precipitate in this second test, that indicates this solution contains strontium ion, then stop the test, don't proceed to third. Suppose if you do not get white precipitate here, then you go for third test. In the third test, if you get white precipitate, that indicates calcium oxalate. So this group 5 analysis, do it systematically as like group separation of cations. First to analyze for barium. If you get yellow precipitate, barium is present, then don't go for second and third. If you do not get yellow precipitate, then go properly for second, don't go immediately to third. Systematically go it. Go to second test. If you get white precipitate, that indicates yes, strontium ion is present here. If you do not get white precipitate, then only you have to proceed to third test. If you get white precipitate in the second test, don't go to third. Okay. If you do not get white precipitate in second test, proceed to third. So in third, you will get, if you get white precipitate, that indicates the given solution contains calcium ion. Therefore, the given salt contains calcium ion. The given salt is calcium salt. The given salt we can say calcium salt. So this is the test for a group 5 analysis. Then group 6 is magnesium. In group separation of cations for magnesium, we have done the test. The same test is for a even confirmatory test for magnesium. That's all. Ammonium means add a strong base and warm the contents. You will get ammonical vapors. That ammonical vapors pass through the Nessler's reagent. Nessler's reagent test is for ammonium ion. Okay, this is about confirmation test for cations. So this is about salt analysis. Salt analysis chapter is completed. Next, we will go for a solid state chapter. In the solid state chapter, how many types of solids are there? Based on structure, based on arrangement,